Hello everyone, Mr. B here, introducing you to Project 1, Identifying an Unknown Substance. So in this project, you are an astronaut. You have worked really, really hard, studied lots of science, and have progressed through the ranks and have become an astronaut. And because you're such a hard worker and doing such good stuff, you have been selected as part of the first crew to go to Mars to attempt the colonization of Mars. You're going to be one of the first people going to a new planet to explore Mars. And here's the cool thing. This is an actual picture of a spaceship that's being developed right now by a company called SpaceX, you might have heard of. That is the whole purpose of this spaceship, is that it's being developed to go to Mars. So it's very possible that within our lifetimes, there's going to be people like you and me that are going to fly all the way to Mars, and we're going to set up a base and explore Mars in person for the first time. So it's a good time to study science. So you're in this spaceship. It takes about 6 months to get to Mars. You're crammed inside this little space for 6 months, but you go all the way, and eventually you land on Mars, and you spend a bunch of time building this huge shelter thing. You're doing some scientific experiments. There's more supplies coming, other spaceships, other fellow astronauts. You're very excited, and specifically, you are excited to go exploring. So this is an actual picture of a Mars rover. This is a real picture of Mars. This is what Mars actually looks like. And so you take a rover that's big enough for you to ride on, and you ride it out, and you're searching around, looking for new things to check out, and eventually you come across something in a cave. It's a mysterious object, an object that, like everything else, is made up of matter. And you look at this object and you think, wow, this must be new. This is something that science has never seen before, and I think it would be good to study it. So you take some pictures of the object. You take some samples of it. You want to come measure it in a couple of different ways, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about for this project. And you bring it back to the space station, and everyone's really impressed with it. They're like, wow, this is a cool discovery. You should send this information to Earth. And so you send some messages to the scientists on Earth. You give them the measurements, and they're very interested in it, and they want to learn more about this subject. And eventually, they're so impressed by your discovery that they ask you to make a presentation that you're going to send all the way back to Earth to middle school students about this substance, how you discovered it, what it's made of, how you measure an object, all that kind of stuff. So that's what this object or this project is. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one for those of you who've had my class before, so it should be short. This is kind of just to get through teaching everyone what it's like to do projects, and also to get you some information about some of the stuff we're going to be learning this year. This year we're going to be studying physical science. So that's chemistry and physics, both really important, really interesting subjects that they're the laws that govern how our bodies work, how you can do things like fly to Mars. That's the study of physics, is flying to Mars. Chemistry is really important for our bodies and also for things like flying to Mars. So these are very important sciences. So here are the things, and you can see this on the other documents that I gave you, but here are the things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to make a representation, which can be a drawing, a video, a sculpture, pretty much anything you want, of the substance that you found. So you can draw it. It can be small, it can be big, it can be shiny, it can be dull, whatever interesting subject or substance you want to make. You're going to have to explain what are atoms. Atoms make up your whole object, so it's really important that we understand what atoms are, because that's going to be important for chemistry and for physics too. You're going to have to write down the mass and the weight of your object, and then understand the difference, explain the difference between the two, because that's not the same thing. You are going to have to write down what the volume of your object is, and then you're going to have to use the mass and the volume to calculate density, and then you're going to have to give 4 other physical properties of your object. So this is just all for a presentation that you're going to give to the kids on the Earth. So there you go. That's your first project.